IQ. He understands the sport. He looks at it in a mental sense. He knows what he needs to do.
And I said, yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez.
Terence got a great chance to beat him, man. You know what I mean? Terence can box, Terence can move, Terence can punch. You know what I mean? Terence ain't gonna be doing like Skull.
Lennox Lewis couldn't believe how focused Terence Crawford has been in training for his fight with Canelo. He praised Crawford's work ethic and sharp boxing mind, saying that when Crawford is locked in, he knows exactly how to win. Lewis pointed out that this type of preparation proves Crawford is more than ready for the big test ahead.
Stay at the top and be at the top. He moves very well. He's a very elusive mover, and his work rate is high.
I won't ask you who's going to win the fight because I know it's a question you've probably been asked a million times, but I will ask you, do you think this fight goes the distance, or do you think this fight ends inside the distance?
Interesting.
Crawford's trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, made it clear that his fighter isn't weighed down by the occasion. Bomac said Crawford feels no pressure going into this historic showdown with Canelo Alvarez. He explained that Crawford has approached the fight with complete focus, treating it as another important step in his career. According to Bomac, Crawford knows exactly what he must do in the ring. His preparation has been sharp, deliberate, and built around execution. For Crawford, this isn't about nerves or hype. It's about showing he's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Bomac stressed that his fighter is calm, confident.
Have a fight rather than maybe boxing.
No, I don't think there's no pressure on Terence because Terence gonna fight the way that he's used to fighting. So by saying all that stuff that Turkey say or anybody else say, that doesn't bother Terence not one bit. You know, we train for one way, the way we're gonna fight, and that's the way we're gonna get the job done.
People talk about this fight and they talk about the outcome of the fight. The sort of narrative online is that, look, Terence was moving up in weight. We all know Terence can crack. When that fight was made with Errol Spence, it was seen as a 50-50 fight, and in reality what it was one of the most destructive performances I've ever seen. Should fans be surprised if Terence could manage to stop Canelo?
I think that fans are going to be surprised when he dismantled Canelo. You know, the more time goes on, the more time Terence can settle into that weight, the worse it's off for the opponent.
The last one for me, because I know this time is now at that minute as you were talking, so I just have one more question. If he manages to get through Canelo Alvarez, does that cement his place on the Mount Rushmore of boxing?
You just answered the question.
Rhetorical.
Longtime analyst Larry Merchant compared the upcoming fight to past classics. He remembered when Sugar Ray Leonard shocked Marvin Hagler in a fight many thought Leonard couldn't win. Merchant said Crawford's situation is very similar. Once again, the smaller, quicker technician is stepping up against the bigger, stronger champion. Just like Leonard used movement, timing, and ring smarts to beat Hagler, Merchant believes Crawford has the tools to do the same against Canelo. He explained that footwork, timing, and controlling the pace will be crucial. In his view, history has already given the blueprint, and Crawford has what it takes to follow it.
I asked the great Larry Merchant, I said, do you think Terence Crawford has a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez? And Larry said, Jim, did Ray Leonard get an official decision victory over Marvelous Marvin Hagler? And I said, yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And I said, why do you say that? He said, same equation. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. Yeah. Over and over and over. He's got to figure the angles and the approaches that will allow him to step in, land to the body, or occasionally upstairs, and then get out. That's what Ray did so effectively against Hagler.
Veteran trainer Buzzy Ennis gave a direct take on the matchup. He said Canelo has shown frustration in the past when facing slick, mobile fighters, and Terence Crawford is exactly that type. Unlike William Skull and others who couldn't bother Canelo, Crawford is a master of angles, counters, and putting opponents in tough spots. Ennis explained that this fight won't just be about power, but about who controls the rhythm. If Crawford can frustrate Canelo, Ennis believes it could turn into the biggest victory of Crawford's.
You know that if he can't touch you, you know what I mean? That's it. You know what I mean?
Now, did watching that make you feel like Terence Crawford has better than a 50% chance after watching? I know we've seen him against Lara back in the day, but now this is supposed to be a new and improved Canelo.
Yeah. I think, like I said, Terence got a great chance to beat him, man. You know what I mean? Terence can box, Terence can move, Terence can punch. You know what I mean? Terence ain't gonna be doing like Skull. Terence gonna punch you. You know what I mean? He's Terence from the streets, man. You know what I mean? He know what to do. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it, I think he's gonna wind up frustrating Canelo. You know what I mean?
So what's the right way? Because Skull was moving too much. Is as soon as he as soon as you turn him, then is that when you start firing off?
Well, see, the thing is, the right way, the way I would have my fighter doing is, I'm boxing him, you know what I mean? And he coming at me, I'm hitting him, pop, 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 pop. And soon he gets set, I'll tie him up. Walking to the center. You know what I mean? We cruise to the ropes and do the same thing. Go ahead, keep on frustrating, hit with the jab, boom, boom. Keep on moving, but also hitting him though. You know what I mean? And he gets frustrated, then he let his guards down. And it's a good night.
Bernie the Boxer, another close member of Crawford's camp, didn't hold back in his warning for Canelo. He declared that Canelo is the perfect style matchup for Crawford. Bernie explained that Canelo's approach, steady, powerful, but often predictable, fits right into Crawford's ability to adjust and read opponents during the fight. He praised Crawford's instincts, discipline, and toughness, saying he has both the skills and the heart to take over. Bernie made it clear that Crawford isn't just there to be part of a big event, he's coming to win in dominant fashion. He stressed that Crawford knows exactly how to do it and is willing.
Well, a lot of people are saying about Crawford's age, but, no boxing, no life, as Canelo would say. And Crawford still, in age, but he ain't took no punishment. He's cautious, he works hard throughout these years. So, of course you're gonna, you gotta count that in the factor. But in his heart and his mind and his spirit, he's still youthful about boxing. He loves boxing, and this is one way to get him up. He's a challenge guy. He loves a challenge, and Canelo is the biggest challenge you can get. We got to go up 2 weight classes, really 3 weight classes to get a guy like that. Hardest puncher, great counter puncher, tons of experience, undisputed champion, unified champion, a couple of divisions champion, and so we didn't get the Pacquiao or the Mayweather, but we getting Canelo, and nothing comes easy to Team Crawford, and expect us to look good on the 12th. Expect us to come out victorious September 12th.
Well, we obviously just saw his fight against Skull, and people didn't obviously enjoy it, the back foot boxing from Skull and whatever, but what fight can fans expect from Bud? Because a lot of people think that it'll be similar to that or the Charlo fight or whatever like that.
The one thing about Crawford is he got guts. Them bums ain't have no guts. Them bums didn't want to win. Crawford want to win. That's it. It ain't about no belt. It ain't about nothing. You didn't sign the contract. We want to win, and he want to be the best, and he is the best. So that's what's going to be the difference. Crawford got guts. He got a fighting spirit. So when you see Crawford, he going to go in there and get busy with Canelo. Don't you even doubt that. You understand? You ain't never seen Crawford stay on the back foot and no fight in his life. You understand? He the type of guy to go get you. So expect him to go get him. We're going to do everything we can to him. We're going to do whatever we got to do. But one thing you can expect is Crawford is going to step to him. Because you can't beat Canelo going on the back foot forever. You got to go get him. You got to do something. And he better know Crawford is coming.
In preparing for Canelo, Crawford has brought in top sparring partners who can copy the Mexican star style. One of them is Lester Martinez, a skilled and experienced fighter. Martinez has been applying pressure and physicality, similar to Canelo during training. Reports say Crawford has looked razor sharp in these sessions, handling Martinez's power while showing his trademark accuracy in counters. By sparring with fighters like Martinez, Crawford ensures he enters the ring fully ready for the size and strength.
Preparation from sparring. Like Terence being with Lester Martinez, he's about as good a concoction you could hope for as a sparring partner. I need a guy who can come forward with good timing, who's sharp, who got good power in both hands. Lester Martinez for Terence Crawford. If you're Canelo, I need a guy that can switch. I need a guy with length. I need a guy with power, with skill. He gets Darrell Valsaint, who's 6'1", 154. He switch hits, southpaw, mostly southpaw like Terence, but can switch. Good long. His arms are almost the exact same length as Terence Crawford. And he's a young 23-year-old good athlete, And then I don't know if Canelo's sparring with Marco Verde, who won the silver medal for Mexico, but Marco Verde would, again, 5'11", long arms, southpaw, can switch. I would think between Darrell Valsaint and Marco Verde, Canelo's getting awesome preparation. And then Terence with Lester Martinez. This is speculative, but someone did mention it to me on Twitter when I was talking about Canelo preparing with Valsaint. They go, well, Lester Martinez had to go home with migraines and pull out of a fight, and he was sparring with Terence Crawford. So, I mean, it's speculative, but you're like, wow, well, if you put 2 and 2 together, if he was getting migraines for sparring Terence Crawford and had to pull out of a fight because of it, then that must mean Terence Crawford is doing well in the gym.
Experts everywhere are talking about the unique clash of styles this fight promises. Canelo Alvarez is known for his patient, heavy-handed approach. He breaks opponents down slowly, conserves energy, and then unleashes brutal combinations. His body shots and uppercuts often change fights. On the other hand, Terence Crawford thrives on rhythm, movement, and constant adjustments. He can switch stances smoothly, create openings, and land with pinpoint precision. Analysts believe this fight is more than power versus speed. It's structure versus creativity. Canelo represents strength and control, while Crawford brings unpredictability and adaptability. The result...
Be predictable. I think Canelo, he likes to go to the same combinations, quite repetitively, whereas Crawford is unpredictable, and despite him not having the size, it's the shots that you don't see that hurt the most, and maybe Crawford can hit him with some unexpected shit. And because of the repetitiveness of Canelo, maybe he can time him, maybe he can counter-punch with him, because Crawford is unbelievable at that. But I'm fascinated to see if Crawford has the power to get the respect of Canelo Alvarez, because when you don't, it's a long night. It's not nice. Like Crawford did well against Madrimov, and he won that fight for me quite clearly. But Madrimov was countering him. If you can counter the counter puncher, you can give them a lot of problems when they're not used to that. And Canelo can counter people really well. And as great as Terence Crawford is, we've never seen him in there with someone with the power of Canelo Alvarez. This is a different world of power. And look, maybe Canelo doesn't throw as many shots as he used to, and maybe Crawford might look at that and go, you know what, I'm going to try and outpoint this guy, not get into a war with him, but just show my boxing, genius and outpoint him and outland him. That's possible. It is. This is why this is such a fascinating matchup, man. We've been treated to some amazing fights. Usyk Fury, for example, this is another one of those mega fights on Riyadh season.
For Crawford, winning has always come naturally. His career has been built on stepping up when the lights are brightest. Preparing for Canelo, Crawford has pushed himself harder than ever, building the stamina to fight at top pace for 12 rounds. Meanwhile, Canelo has been sharpening his own skills, sparring with younger fighters to keep up with Crawford's quickness and movement. Both camps know what's at stake, and neither side is...
They had this little fracas. It looked kind of WWE to me, but we know Crawford is coming to try to win. That's his DNA, that's his nature, and I think that's what he will attempt to do. So it will be up to Canelo to show him moving up to this weight class was a mistake. Weight classes exist for a reason. So I really like what I'm seeing. Canelo getting young sparring partners in there. He probably is giving them advice and using them for their energy. It's like 50 Cent said in Hustler's Ambition, when he said, I need you to hate so I can use you for your energy, right? He's using these younger fighters because Canelo was once the young, hungry fighter, right? And now he's using these younger fighters and sparring with them and working with them as he prepares for this. Now, I think there is something on the line for both fighters. Canelo, payday, you'll want payday, I know that. And also Terence Crawford. But this, especially for Canelo Alvarez, he's not going to want to lose this fight because it's a smaller person. I think it'll be more embarrassing.
Former champion Zab Judah had high praise for Crawford. He pointed out Crawford's sharpness, speed, and rare mix of power with accuracy. Judah predicted that Crawford's precision and quickness could even drop Canelo to the canvas. He said Crawford is one of the few fighters smart and skilled enough to truly trouble Alvarez. Judah even suggested that this fight may not just come down to winning rounds. It could end with Crawford.
Let's talk about the fight. What you guys think about the fight? Let's get real. Crawford in 1. No, I'm just playing. Nah, I think Crawford.
You see how you don't? You don't believe in Crawford. You don't believe in Crawford in 1.
No. Crawford in 1. No, hell no. Crawford in 1. No.
Okay.
Crawford by decision. I got Crawford by decision.
I got Crawford by decision too. And I got Crawford by I got Crawford by a beatdown. If he do what I think he's gonna do, be smooth early and then step it up 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. By the 9th, 10th round, you might see Canelo go sit down. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If he step it up the way he's supposed to, I think that I know he can do. Watch what I say, y'all. Watch what I say.
Yes. Sit down.
Sit down.
By stumblage, like by balance or something like that, by hurt.
First of all, punches putting people down. I have watched what I'm telling you. That boy is strong. He's sharp. Speed.
Well-known trainer Derek James had a clear message for Canelo. He explained that Terence Crawford is unlike anyone Canelo has ever faced. While Canelo has fought big punchers and polished boxers, Crawford combines speed, fluid movement, and sudden bursts of power. James said Crawford is hard to time and often performs best under pressure when the stakes are highest. His advice to Canelo? Bring your absolute best, because underestimating Crawford...
I think it's a good fight. I think that it's a great challenge because I think both guys have great attributes, right? That, they do, and I think they have great attributes, and I think that, so you're looking to possibly see a great matchup, a great fight. And one could be an intellectual fight from Crawford, smart, intelligent fight. And I think, Canelo probably has to be the matador in this one.
He has to be the what?
Matador, yeah.
Matador, yeah.
Yeah, basically, let me see, the bull.
The bull.
You gotta be able to be the bull.
Canelo has to be the bull in this one.
You gotta be it, because I think you find somebody faster, more athletic. You gotta put whatever it is that he's doing, he has to be better at that than he is at any other night in his life.
But the big talk here, and the thing that I always go back to, is just the weight class. Crawford's going up 3 weight classes. The last time he fought, went up on weight, fought Madrimov. You say you don't watch boxing, but he got, a lot of people. Madrimov.
Oh yeah, I saw that fight.
Yeah, 154.
Yeah, I saw that fight.
Rising star Jaron Boots. Ennis also gave his thoughts, calling it a true 50-50 matchup. He acknowledged Canelo's size, experience, and dominance at higher weights, but also praised Crawford's unmatched skills, adaptability, and mental toughness. Ennis said both fighters have the ability to cancel each other out, which makes the outcome impossible to predict. He believes fans should expect a very close fight, where every round
50-50 fight, and I guess it's a fight that everybody wants to see, so, it's a good fight.
How difficult is it to make that jump from, he only had one fight at 54, so like 147, 154 to 168 pounds?
You said how difficult is it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little difficult because you got to, what do you have to put on, like an extra 14 pounds, so he might be a little slower, or who knows, he could be faster, I don't know, like it's just, you got to add more weight and gain more muscle and stuff like that, moving up in weight and things like that, so it's a little harder, but I don't know, we'll see on fight night how he'll look.
What does Terence Crawford have to do to be successful in that fight?
Be smart, take his time, box and move, don't sit there and let him try to bomb on him.
What about Canelo Alvarez?
I feel like Canelo had to just go and press him, had to press him, everything behind the stick, and catch him, trying to pull out, pull back, anything, cutting the ring off, things like that.
Is it one of those situations where you try to punch on like the smaller man's like arms?
You gonna have to bully him. You gonna have to bully the smaller guy.
Former middleweight champion Daniel Jacobs, who has fought Canelo himself, gave his perspective. Jacobs admitted Canelo is a world-class fighter, but said Crawford's training shows he has the focus and sharpness to compete at this level. He explained that Crawford may need to pressure Canelo at times, testing his stamina and pace. Jacobs admitted it's a huge challenge, but insisted Crawford absolutely has a real chance. After witnessing Crawford's intense training firsthand, Jacobs believes the Omaha native can rise to the moment and possibly shock the world.
Canelo Alvarez, and since then, obviously, naturally, he's slightly declined.
Yeah.
Do you see this decline that people talk about?
Well, I can see in increments because Canelo, which I've always said is an amazing, legendary fighter, but he fights in spurts. So sometimes it takes for the opponent to actually initialize him giving the best. When he was faced with me, the opposition that I had and what I was giving him, it was just a lot, whether it was boxing, whether it was coming forward, but most importantly, it was the punches and bunches. And so he was forced to either stand there, wait for the right time, or be combative and go back at it. So I think that's what Crawford may have to do, push the pressure, make Canelo fight, or maybe just play it safe, win on points, you know?